So that's the team I actually coached.
Huh?
With Mike Jones in the middle, Ben, Azza, Chaz should be on Spike's lad, Alex.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm on the Colts vets picture there, that's under Bry. And I'm on that picture there, that was Glossop aware, that. So that's Juzzy's on there, Gavin Natton, who's still about playing. So Bomber's on there, Chris Morgan, Paul and Jed were coaches. So I'm on a couple in there. This is our picture from when we won at Fleetwood. Right in the corner. Well, how did we? So we drew with Manchester away, but because we were the away team, we went through. Or was that the year? So that was the year before when we lost, because we lost the year before. And then the year of this, we beat Huddersfield out here. We beat Lee out here, and then we beat Wigan at Fleetwood. I think we won up comfy in the end, because remember Mark Wilcox?
Mm-hmm.
So Mark come off the bench and scored from the base of a scrum. It was tight till then. But remember, like Tom Mack put Semple over with a good pass in the corner, and otherwise it was just a couple of penalties and goals because I was kicking them for some reason. So that would have been, yeah, that's the Lancashire Cup final at Colts. So yeah, so the first year we went to Isle of Man, I think we were getting beat. Andy Riley scored in the corner with the last play of the game, but I actually didn't realise it was the last play of the game. So when I was kicking at the time, when I put the ball on the tee, I had like 3 or 4 of those speckies giving me stick. Unpleasantries. And Paul Newell reminded me of the importance, just as I was lining it up. But it's just one of them moments that when I kicked it, and I knew I didn't need to watch it, and it went over, and it generally was, we were drawing I think, or we were losing by a point, and because we kicked it we won. But the year after we went away there and we won comfy, but I actually got man of the match the second year. So I had 2 good trips, but that's all I had. But yeah, so like even the night's really good. You go back, the hotel, everyone goes back together as well. There was no real scatters in that team I was involved in. Everyone got on really well. So we all went back. I think we stayed at the Hilton, isn't it, with a nightclub underneath it. You had a certain time you had to meet up. We'd done a bit of a circle, and then we actually went to a pub that someone from claimed to be from where Deacon owned. It was probably as big as the Jockey before the back was done. And then we went quids in. There was a bar called the Outback, and then I somehow managed to get in colours because of my room key. A few of us ended up in colours, and then we had a good drink the next day because we had a later flight back. But no, good memories of the Isle of Man trips. Like I said, I only went twice, but I won twice, so I can't complain. But the coaching come about just because I asked Paul Newell. I can't remember what event it was at. And I was like, I wouldn't mind getting involved just to, like I said in the book, just to give something back, which has been a big part of my life, never mind my rugby life. From playing, coaching, I've had family funerals there, unfortunately, it's been real key. So before the funeral come along, I just wanted to give a little bit back and hopefully help the next Tom McMulder, the next Phil Harrison, the next George Lang, Gavin Hatton. So it ended up being Andy Lang's team needed an hand, so me and Aaron Haydock, Arnie, to people that'll be watching now, we ended up going, and the team was quite raw, but it had a lot of ability. Lads playing in positions I probably wouldn't have played them in, but ended up playing there anyway. So Andy knew what he was doing, and Lol Duggan, so Aaron Duggan's dad. And then when me and Aaron went along, it's not down to us, but the development was like really quick and steep. And I remember a certain game at Rochdale where a fracas happened, and I think 4 weeks before, no one would have helped each other. I think it was a bit of one of them teams, but everyone bought in, everyone, I know we don't encourage it, but looked after each other. And from then on we ended up going on to Southport and winning the Lancashire Plate, I think it was. Again, Alex Clare got us out of a bit of trouble with his pace. Remy Julien, he was a centre, I don't know if anyone really remembers Remy, but Remy was one of the better players as well. But everybody stepped up, it was a real collective, it was a good day. So it was on a bank holiday Monday, it was like one of them occasions that everyone says you won't get, you know, since they won the Lancashire Cup, you'll never win it with the first team and things like that. So when the day come, Dr. Schofield, Ian was filming everybody, so we've seen that DVD. It was suited and booted, it was getting the bus there, we got there, and I don't know if there was a game before us, but it was already really busy. And then I think a Colts tour had come back early to support, so it was already really like buzzing. The warm-up was, I won't lie, it wasn't any better or worse than we normally do. There was no feeling before the game of it being your day. You sometimes get that. But the minute it kicked off and we were in, they dropped the goal really early and were like throwing it in our faces a little bit. And I think we like took our time to get in the game, but once I think Andy Riley or Kevin Ledbetter scored, we were in the floor, and I never felt we were in trouble or losing. But it was a good day, and back the cup was even better. It was nice, and the trophy's actually the original Challenge Cup, isn't it? So that's a pleasure to hold because of some of the people that have managed to lift that. So we beat Fleetwood here. Don't think we were ever really in trouble or losing that. To be honest, that team, especially the back line, was unplayable at times. We didn't play a lot of rugby union. I don't think we played a lot of rugby league structure with set piece involved. That we weren't the best at, but our rugby outplayed the set piece, which 9 out of 10 games, I think it was only really Kendall we struggled at that year. I think they kicked the late penalty and beat us, but we only touched the ball for the last 10 minutes. But no, yeah, I remember we beat Fleetwood out here. That was promotion. Trot The Egg In come about basically just before COVID. Me and Daniel Newall were doing series of YouTube jokey games. It was basically a guess who on your phone. The lads loved that. They were competing with each other, and on the group chats they were actually giving each other jib how bad some of them done and how good some of them done. And when COVID come along, we'd done our brainstorming how to keep lads interested in the Wids, and hopefully we didn't expect it to be how long it was and stuff, but we wanted them all to come back plus a few. So when the lockdown happened, I was listening to podcasts which were pretty new at the time to me, and I said to Dan, I think we should try and do one. I'll look at softwares and I'll look at systems of how to do it, and we'll try one. And luckily Kevin Ledbetter always put his hand up for me to be a guinea pig basically. So when it comes to Trot The Egg In, the first rugby story is actually Kevin Ledbetter's, and we decided we'd have to alter it because Kevin's was lagging a little bit, and then you could hear like my clock in the kitchen in the background, and Dan weren't quite hearing some stuff I was saying and vice versa. Still went out, we still trialled it. Kevin actually brought the issues up to us because I didn't listen to the full just under 2 hours, where Kevin listened to it and it was answering before asking, and he suggested maybe doing it again. So I decided to do it in segments then, so I've done it in 40-minute segments. Daniel then come back to concentrate on coaching, and because my playing days were officially done, I stuck with the podcast and helped him where I could. The lads were a bit hesitant to come on, so I was asking round, and Chris Atkins, a good friend of the club's, isn't he? He's a good friend of mine, he's been great with it. I messaged Chris Atkins and Chris come on, and then people don't want to follow a professional, do they? So then you're finding it hard to come after Chris, and then Paul Sculthorpe come on, who, no offence to Chris, is more well known, and then lads definitely don't want to follow Paul Sculthorpe. But a few of my mates do come on then that have played semi-pro, the likes of Ryan Millington, and then after Ryan, because our lads are friends with Ryan, so I'll go after Ryan, even though Ryan's done really well. And then it was just what I tried to do is an amateur, a professional. Every other week I tried to make it as neutral as I could, because I find the amateur stories just as impressive as the professional stories. So that's how Trot The Egg In come around, and once I got to the grips of the editing, which you'll know is difficult, Jon, at times, the segments faded away and I managed to be able to compress it and make it one segment rather than 4. And that's where we are today. We've been doing it on Zoom, and the club help out with that. They've been great, the Wids with it, and yeah, so that's where we're at now on Series 10. I think the club are really good at the one size doesn't fit all, aren't we? We've got different characters, different abilities. people want to buy in off the field because the on-field's not for them anymore, and vice versa. People buy into that, and like you said, we've got some real good volunteers here that the club are built on, and hopefully that'll carry on for us all.